Hi folks, quick stash update here for 2025. As you can see, we got a load of rockets, and we will be firing these at the cricket club for the display this year. So a little bit of a prelude to how this is, obviously subject to wind conditions, because that's the only thing with rockets. You've got to remember that they will fly into the wind. That's the way they like to go, because the tail sort of hits the wind and then it angles the rocket into the wind. So generally, but obviously with rockets they can be erratic. You need the distance, and thankfully we do at the cricket club. So no real issues, but yeah, weather dependent. So yeah, last year we fired quite a few in volleys. So I got some fast fuse from Wireless Fireworks, and we fast fused a couple of rocket racks. With rockets, and then yeah, they all went up pretty much instantaneously. Slight delay on some of them, but yeah, generally they went off no problem. And well, I'll post the video. I haven't got round to it yet, but I will. It might be scheduled in for actual bonfire night itself. So the finale rocket volley that we did, it had, well, they were mostly Warhawk type ones. So I think there's some Reapers by Vivid, some Black Hawks from Standard, some VSR 2s again from Vivid. Was that it? I can't remember. Anyway, all went up at once, and I thought it was quite spectacular, to be honest. What you've got to remember, with certainly with the 1.3G rockets, and certainly with the ball heads, is when they burst, you've got they're almost like a shell, basically a mortar shell. So their effects are a bit like a more professional display. Even with the Warhawks, I'm pretty sure they will have some kind of like ball head or cylinder head on there, like you would with a mortar inside. Not that I've ever looked inside. It's just an assumption. So yeah, they're all pretty much of a muchness. The only thing I would say with rockets is, from my own perspective, is if you can go for 1.3G over 1.4G, you will generally see quite a big difference in terms of burst size and effect. And the way to sort of tell, because this is the thing, like I said, with Spook, it's not always apparent whether they're 1.4 or 1.3G, but I'll show you a little hack in a minute of how to decipher. So yeah, so I'm pretty sure I fired these last year. I've had them a couple of times now, and they are great fun. I call them window rattlers, but these are Super Whirl from Black Panther. So they used to be Benwell, and now I think they're Black Panther and Cube. And Black Panther tend to be 1.3G effects, and I've lost the label on the front of these, so I can't be 100% sure with you. But as you can see, yeah, so you got ball heads. I presume that's like 1 inch and 2 inch. So the 2 inches should be a bit like the VSR 2s. And yeah, they do rattle the windows. So I'm pretty confident they are 1.3, just because of the noise that they make. There's a lot of flash powder in them. So yeah, they will go off. Probably do those individually this year. I think I did them individually last year as well, and they held their own. So yeah, why not do the same thing? And then I got a new one just to try out, but I don't think particularly they'll be that good. I've got some heat seekers. These are only 1.4. Where you can tell with 1.4, so that they're the slightly watered down ones, is they say warning. If they're 1.3, they'll say danger. So that's, as a general guide, that's how you're going to differentiate, unfortunately. So yeah, if you see these in the shops, like 1.4, there will probably be a price difference though. So if you're on a budget, 1.4 is probably the way to go, because you can store more of them, because they've not got as much flash powder in. So they should be fine. They'll be fine for back gardens and whatnot. So again, as a warm-up display, I'll give those a pop. Not seen them before, to be fair, so I presume they're fairly new. But heat seekers from Skycrafter, just something extra to try. It does actually tell you what effects are on there. There's a little picture for each one, and it does tell you the performance. So like the first one just says golden burst to crackling. So yeah, don't be expecting brocades that look like brocades and peonies that necessarily look like peonies, because they're gonna burst one way, I would imagine, because they've just not got enough flash powder to make that rounded effect. But yeah, you got golden brocade with stars, but as it suggests, your brocade is going to be more like a horsetail like effect when it bursts, so you're going to get that sort of upward fan effect rather than a rounded burst on them. So there you go. Heat seekers, let's have another little look. So yeah, so these are 1.4 again, I think, these ones. So again, just a bit of a mixture. Family pack there. Storm Shadow. Just ignore the recommended retail price. That's the one thing that does sort of grate on me a little bit. They always have these inflated recommended retail prices on and end up selling them for like half the price. So make you buy them because you think you're getting a bargain. But to be fair, for the amount of rockets you've got here, again, should be decent performance. So if we're comparing them to the Heat Seekers are sort of this size here, but we've got some bigger ones as well. So interesting to see how they perform in comparison. Should be double the effect, shouldn't they, really? Whether they've got double the powder. So these are 19 gram rockets. Oh, naughty, naughty. So I didn't check this. They're 19 grams and they're big. They're 19 grams and they're small. So they're going to be exactly the same, aren't they? I don't like that. That's naughty. Smaller ones then, 14 grams. And even smaller ones even at 19 grams. So really the effects from this and this probably going to be the same sort of burst size, but we'll see. There might be some trick up the sleeve that I don't know about, but yeah, I feel like that's a bit naughty, to be honest. That said, we do have some 1.3G rockets. So we call these like the Hawk variant of rocket. They've got a very distinctive tip. I was going to say shaft. I'm going to say shaft. So distinctive tip, distinctive main body, and the tail again, very distinctive, slopes down, and then you've got this fuse cap at the bottom that you just detach, and then that exposes the fuse. Some of them have fallen off, as you can see, like those, and then off they go. But obviously, always use the launch tube. Don't stick them in the ground because they'll detonate on the ground, and you don't want to be anywhere near 1.3 when it goes off. So yeah, these are F3. You're going to need 25 meters for these bad boys. 315 grams is your total NEC. I'm wondering if each rocket has got its own NEC as well. Yeah, so 63 grams. So decent amount really for a Hawk variant compared to your 19 grams in that last pack that you saw. So yeah, they should be good, and they're a twin burst effect. Yeah, so sorry, I forgot to mention these are twin bursts, so they will be very much like, I'm sure there's a twin burst Warhawk variant, Warhawk 2, where you get so like the main burst, which will be like a brocade type effect, and then a slightly smaller secondary burst, which will be a peony usually of different colours per rocket. So that's what we're expecting anyway, and we'll fire a few of those in the final volley, and I'll probably fire some singly as well. Because we've got quite a few because they are cheap. And then yeah, so we've got Star Blaster. So these are your standard Warhawk type rockets. Again, NEC-wise 63 grams, but obviously single burst rather than twin burst, so the effects should be a lot better. It's 1.3G, and obviously yeah, total NEC there 315 grams. Yeah, so again, we'll see how those perform compared to other Hawk variants. Fired loads over the years, so it's just another one to add and see what they do. So yeah, we'll see how they go. And then that just leaves us with Missile Force. So this pack, compared to the other one, the other family pack, this one is actually 1.3G. So that's interesting. So we've got an 18 pack here, and then the total NEC 738 grams, which is decent, and it's F3, so you're going to need 25 meters. So the bigger rockets here, 55 grams per rocket, so they're not far off the Warhawk type variant there. So that's decent. These are a lot better. And then 38 grams for the smaller ones. So again, decent amount. And then the really small ones at the bottom, 25 grams NEC. So these should kick the ass out of the other ones, to be quite honest with you, with these Storm Shadows. So Missile Force, if you can afford the difference, then go for these, because these are 1.3 and bigger effects. So again, what we'll do with these is we will just pad out the display and we'll fire these singly, and we'll leave the big guns for the rocket volleys later on. So that should be sky filling. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you on the next one.